I'm here to talk to you about my little cup and its contents, literally and figuratively. It's about how you refill your artistic and creative cups. But isn't this one cute? Welcome, my fellow inner children. I am Dawn, and this is Inner Child Creates, where we test the theory that freeing your inner child also frees your creativity. This little espresso cup is my favorite. I have some close seconds, thirds, fourths. I have some cute cups, but this one is my favorite. I purchased it in a little artisan shop in Florence, Italy, where the artisan creates everything in the shop and everything in there carries her unique aesthetic. And of course, I'm drinking un cafe, or espresso as we call it here in the States. I just thought it was appropriate for this cup to help me kick off our Creative Cup series, where I plan to talk about how to fill up your artistic cup when it gets running a little low. This cup makes me happy. Why? I don't know. It's cute, it's got little birds, it's little, who knows? It doesn't matter. The fact is that it makes me happy, and that's what matters. As artists, we pour ourselves into our art, and sometimes we start to feel ourselves run a little empty. I know it's true in the performing arts because myself and my friends, we've endured it. If you have ever started to feel yourself become burnt out, feel run down, or even just a little blasé, then this video is for you. Anything that we continuously pour ourselves into has potential to drain us. Simply put, we have to refill ourselves. And that sounds glib, but it's really just that simple and just that difficult. You have to do something that brings you joy. You have to do something exciting. You have to do something that feels special. Julia Cameron has a brilliant technique for cultivating the inner artist, as she calls it. She defines the technique as a non-tool, and she calls it the artist's date. Basically, you take yourself as an artist on a date. That's it. But she does have some rules, and one of the rules is that you have to do it alone. And I see her point. It's to protect against anybody who might steal your joy. But she was talking to an audience that hadn't just endured a lockdown, who hadn't had their performances and exhibits and concerts canceled while they had to sit at home, isolated away from their artistic communities. Doing things alone might feel pretty low on our list of things that seem fulfilling right now. So if there is something you want to do alone, by all means do so. But I'm just saying, don't put any rules on yourself. As I said, this needs to be something that brings you joy. This needs to be fun. This needs to be curious and exploratory. And it's to break us out of our norm. It's to break you away from what you normally do. Approach it like a child. Find something that your inner child would love to play at. So you're an actor, go to a sculpting class. You're a painter, go to a concert or try an instrument. You're a writer, go to a painting class. You might want it to be one of those wine and paint classes, I don't know. It also doesn't need to cost any money. You could go for a walk or paint a rock. The point is to do something different and have fun. Feel your artistic cup being refilled. Find something that has nothing to do with what you produce. That way, there's no judgment, there's no failure, because there's no stakes. The point is doing it. And who knows, you might find unlikely inspiration. And you know what? So what if you don't? It doesn't matter, because that's not the point. The point is to enjoy yourself. This is a free pass to go play. But if you really can't think of anything that you would want to do, then literally just think about what you would have liked to have done when you were a child. Color, if that's all that you can think of. I mean, it's proven to reduce anxiety and improve mindfulness. You should try to do one thing a week. That is my challenge to you. It is self-care for the creative. Can't do it once a week? Don't have time? Sorry, got tech. Theater joke. The point is, you need to try to get it done as often as you can. Do it every other week. Do it once a month. It's a wild card. You can do anything. It needs to be exciting. I mean, really anything you want. Nothing is too silly or frivolous. Nothing is too big or grandiose. You just have to experience. That's the whole point. The point is to experience. That's it. And although you've been handed this ticket, this golden ticket, this wild card, the funny thing is, you're probably going to meet resistance. And the resistance is going to be from you. The mature artist within us invalidates the inner child. But we have to produce, and it must be worthy. But this is why your creative cup runs low. That's what this series is going to be about. I'll still have my adventure videos, but I'm going to do one of these once a month, where I'm going to show you something fun, this fun thing that I made, or this cool place that I went to, or this amazing concert that I went to. And we're going to talk about that kind of stuff and how to refill our artistic wells. It's not going to have anything to do with what I do professionally, so I might be doing a craft or something completely random. It doesn't matter. The point is, I want to build a creative community, and I want to help you with your creative self-care, and that is freeing your inner child. So please let me know if you start refilling your creative cup in this way. I want to know all about it. I want to know what you do. I want to know how you feel about it. I want to know what works for you and what doesn't. I want to know all the things. And in the meantime, now I have a project that I'm going to work on that I've been putting off for years. And I have been putting it off because I don't know how to do it. I have ideas. I'm pretty sure I know how to do it, but I might run into things I don't know how to do. So I've been putting it off. But I thank you for helping me have that oomph to go on my own artistic date. So I appreciate you for keeping me accountable to that as well. And I don't really know how long it's going to take, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 2-part process. I do know that. It might even be a 3-part process. But right now, we're going to start on part 1. Oh, and the obligatory YouTube toll. Please like and subscribe. It's easy, it's free, and it lets me and YouTube know if you find any of this worthwhile. My original project idea came from these butterflies that I made years ago. I always wanted to do more with them, but I wasn't sure what exactly. I also retrieved this unwanted end table off of the curb a few years ago with the intention of turning it into something unique. It's solid wood, and I didn't want to see it go to the dump. I thought it would be fun to incorporate the two. I've been thinking about a resin or acrylic type top that shows off the butterflies. So when I started, I really thought this was going to be butterflies. But then I started looking at inspiration photos, and I fell in love with the dragonfly. So I changed my mind. Then, halfway through the project, I started to regret that decision. I started to hate the dragonfly and considered scrapping it and going back to the butterfly idea. Then I scolded myself for the idea of not following through on the dragonfly. So I had to ask myself, what is the meaning of this project? My answer was, it's play. What refills our creative cup? Playtime for the creative. In that moment, I realized this is what I'm going to call these moments, the creative's play. Have you ever seen a child say they want to color, but then change their minds to Lego, but then say, no, I can't play Legos, I have to color because I said I was going to color? No, those are valuable skills that we learn later, but we do not expect that from a child. Those commitments are vital in our professional life, but they mute us in our creative play. As I pondered it, I actually found that removing the pressure for myself let me appreciate the dragonflies after all. But I had the permission to do whatever my heart led me to do. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. Allow yourself to be completely free in your creative play. It might take practice. It's not something we've done in a long time. So that was more involved than I had planned for. It was more like an artist's vacation than an artist's date. What you just saw there took about 5 days off and on. But that's okay because I had been putting it off for literally years. So the time was owed to it. And I think we do that. Often, even if we really want to do something, we let everything else get in the way. Why? Because we can't justify spending the time on it. We hold ourselves to expectations that we think others have for us and that we have for ourselves. We must produce. We must tend to this and that. We must care for this and that. We must do this and that. Anything but take care of our artistic wells. our creative wells. Yes, we have responsibilities and those are important, but we put our creative self-care last when really it should be one of our top priorities. Because when you burn out, it's your art that suffers. And then you wonder why you can't produce. Creatives play. Playtime for the creative. Remember, your creative's play can be as simple or as involved as you want. That is your mission, should you choose to accept it. And I hope you do, and I hope you tell me about it. I'm actually nervous as well as excited to start part 2 of my creative's play because I think that's going to be the more challenging part and the part where I don't know how to do everything, furniture working with resins. I don't know. I think there'll be a learning curve in my play, but that's okay. I'm up for the challenge and I hope that you join me for it. Until then, be kind to yourself and others and free your inner child.